Well, welcome to the KC Stars podcast, where we talk to people in the local film community. And I have with me Dorcianna Cortez, who is an actor and model. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dorcianna Cortez. I'm a Kansas City-based actor and model. I also do ambassador work for local Kansas City brands as well.
Explain ambassador brands. I know, but not everybody will know what ambassador is.
Yeah, of course. So, an ambassador is somebody who, speaks highly of a brand or business. And, so you kind of go and you do promo for that brand or business and post content for them as well.
Very good. Yeah, I'd met someone before who, like, they were Budweiser in Dallas, and anytime there was a Budweiser event in Dallas, they were there as a brand ambassador. So, like, what brands do you do, if you can say?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I work really heavily with Authentically Aligned. They create women's athletic apparel. I also work very closely with Sarah Kramer Jewelry. She creates handmade jewelry. She also does permanent jewelry. I'm actually wearing some of her pieces right now. And then I also work really heavily with Confident Beatdown. That's owned by Allison Moses, and she creates really healthy skincare for people who like to use makeup.
Very good. That does not include me, but that's good. I'm glad for you. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Yeah, I was just wondering how long this podcast has been going on and what got you into it.
Well, the podcast has been going on since mid-May of last year, so
Okay.
not even a year. And what got me into it was I actually ended up being on several podcasts the year before. So I was on one podcast and I liked it. So I called somebody else and I got on their podcast. And then the first guy asked me back with somebody else, and then he put me with someone else. And like I kind of was like people like me asking and people asking me. I got like I don't know, like got in five or six podcasts in like a year and a half. And
Hmm.
I thought I kind of want to do that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I met with his real name is Dylan, but he goes by Jukebox Ginger, the JG Lounge. He runs a dozen podcasts, 13 including mine, because I am part of his
Wow.
group. And I wanted to do one that was like most people's podcasts are like, I do a nature podcast, I do an acting podcast. I don't just do acting, I want anything film related. And I've even had a couple people on who are playwrights.
Oh, that's
It's,
neat.
it's basically, I know people that are in films that were in their place.
No,
So,
that's really cool.
so
It's really nice that you give a platform to KC-based screenwriters and people who work in film.
yeah, I just like the idea of creating a record. That's my big thing is I want to create a record. So when Dorciana is famous, when Dorciana is in other stuff, people can look back and say, there's an interview with her 10 years ago, and they can watch it and find it, or they can find clips of you. I think that's the main reason why.
Yeah, I think it's really great. Actually, that's what kind of motivates me to do content is like just recording my life. I mean, some of it is work related, but just kind of documenting what I'm going through at that time in my life is kind of cool to look back on. Even when I look back just a year or two ago, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I was into that song or
Oh
I
yeah.
was living that style of dress or whatever it is. And then also too, I think it's important for my kids to be able to have some kind of record of who their mom was when, maybe they're not so aware these days. So
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool that they can look back and see who I am as an individual.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
How did you get started in modeling and acting and brand ambassador and commercials as well? Like, how did you get started?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. So when I was younger, probably around 14 or 15, my mom would take me to scouting events, and I got signed for my very first time to an agency around the age of 17. But that agent was actually in another state, and we didn't realize how much travel was involved when your agent is in a completely different state than you. I ended up getting pregnant in high school, so I kind of was just like, well, there goes that dream. I'll, put on the back burner. Uh, then in my 30s, I was in therapy, and my therapist basically was like, "Are you doing what you love?" And I was like, I think so. Like I'm using my bachelor's degree in psychology and human services. I work, with the general population and I help people. I love to help people. So I
Oh,
was like, I think so. And she's like, well, if you're saying you think so, I feel like you need to be exploring some other avenues. And she's like, go home and make a list of 5 things that you should start doing as a hobby and just see if you can happen to make it a career. um, Acting and modeling was on that list. And one day I called my best friend and I was like, I'm going to start pursuing this seriously again. And she was like, do it. So within 6 months, I ended up getting an audition call for my daughter, who was already signed by a local agency. And the casting director was looking at me and was like, are you auditioning for the mom role? And I was like, oh no, I'm just here to support my daughter. She's, auditioning. And the casting director was like, I think you should audition. So I'm like, say less. And I auditioned. I booked the mom role. My daughter didn't book the kid role. They actually
oh
changed
my
the
goodness.
specs on the age of the child. But I booked the role, and her agency was like, I heard you showed up to her audition and booked a role. Can we sign you? And I was like, absolutely. So that's how I got started. And it's been a whirlwind of a 2.5 year career so far.
Awesome. What was the commercial?
It was for a bank. Trust Bank was the very first commercial I booked.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at a few pictures. If you watch the show, I've got one question that's out of the blue, and I also have pictures. Tell me about these pictures.
Yes, those are my friends that I've met on sets, various sets.
How did you get them all together in one place? What was going on?
We were actually at a holiday party for crew members. I actually started working on the crew side or the production side of film and commercials. And so some people I've acted with, and other like April was my makeup artist. And yeah, like I just know all of these people through various forms of acting and crew work.
I don't know anybody else in the picture. I've seen Lily with red hair before, but the I don't know her name. Uh,
Courtney.
what is it?
Courtney.
Courtney. And then Thomas Smith. I know Thomas Smith fairly well. He is a wonderful guy. I have seen him. It's not about me, it's about you, but
It's okay.
he cut my hand off. I tased him in the nuts. He's fired me, and I've thrown stuff as I'm leaving. Like, we have been like cast against each other a lot. It's been kind of fun.
Yeah, Thomas is phenomenal. We were on a T-Mobile shoot together and we bonded over our tattoos because we were surprised that they cast us because of our tattoos,
Oh
because
yeah,
typically you don't always get cast in a commercial for your tattoos. And for this particular commercial, they're like, we want people who have tattoos. It's really modern. And we're like, cool, it's really awesome that, we got picked for that.
that's awesome. And
Yeah.
what is this?
Oh, that's my headshot for Book Club, the play. When I was still living in Topeka, which is where I'm from, I was trying to build my resume when I was getting into acting. And so I started auditioning for plays through Topeka Civic Theater and Helen Hawker. And this is one of my plays that I was the lead in.
Very cool. Do you know Dylan?
I don't believe
Oh,
so.
okay. She does plays in Topeka as well.
Well, I'm surprised I don't because it's a pretty small community, but oh.
What in the world is this?
That is some content I made for a short film that I am in. I actually played 2 roles in that film. I am a friend talking to another friend, and then I am a victim. But then I am also the creature who preys upon people and takes their eyes.
Well, I actually love this picture. I think it is like spectacular. I
Yeah.
really did.
And what's exciting about Peepers, that's the name of the short film. It's written and directed by Kevin Lynn. It actually just got accepted into, is it Scarefest? Yeah. Um, so I'm really, really excited about that.
Well, very cool.
Oh, Panic Fest, not Scarefest. Sorry, just got accepted into Panic Fest.
And here you are as a model employee.
Yes. Oh, okay. This is a great picture. I'm glad you brought this one up because um, I booked this role. This is where I met my friend Michael. He was also in that holiday picture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I show up to be a deli worker at Good Sense, and lo and behold, they were like, "Today you're going to learn how to use an industrial meat slicer." And they were
Hmm.
like, "Only for comfortable though, only for comfortable." And I have the attitude of like, I'll try anything at least once, mostly anything. And so, they had an employee come over and show me how to cut the deli meat. And I was like, I'm gonna do it, but it's not gonna look as great as he's doing it because you can tell he's had so much more time with an
Yeah.
industrial meat slicer. But I have all my fingers and I did a really great job.
Well, I saw on your YouTube channel you had a 1 minute commercial and a 30-second commercial, and you are featured the most in both of those.
I
It is
am.
truly your commercial. How long ago did that air?
I want to say, so that shot, oh my gosh, that shot probably the end of 2024.
Okay.
So that aired probably early 2025, midway through 2025, somewhere in there.
Where was it shown?
That's a great question. I don't always know where they show some of my work.
So,
I
okay.
did it. I
So we
did a
don't
minor
know if it was
somewhere.
shown. Was it on did anybody ever say, "Hey, I saw you on TV," or "Hey, I got this on the internet"?
You know what? I saw it one time. I saw it one time and I was scrolling through Instagram and it was the oddest feeling to just be scrolling through my friend's stories and then my face popped up.
That is
So I'm
all.
guessing, yeah, so I'm guessing they did a lot of socials with that one.
Very cool. It's a rather dark picture. This is me taking a picture of a film. And
Yes.
what is this? What was the
This one
film?
This is a short film. It was a 1 minute short film, written and directed by Sonia and her partner. I believe they were writing this for a short film contest, and it was called The Note. Basically, I was a victim of a stalker who loved me so much, they wanted to show me by providing their heart to me.
What a wonderful gift.
Isn't that phenomenal?
That is a wonderful gift. So yeah, so they wanted to give you their heart, kind of like the Vincent van Gogh, "This is how much I love you," you know.
Yes.
Here's a body part.
I
Okay.
mean, is there anything more romantic than cutting your own heart out for someone?
Wow. That's true love. And I think this is from a play, but I'm not sure.
Yes, this is behind the scenes or backstage at Collective Rage, a play in Five Betties. Those are the five Bettys where they're hanging out. I don't know if you've heard of Collective Rage, but basically it explores queer themes and different types of queer individuals. There's a trans individual, there's a woman who's questioning her sexuality, there's the quote unquote butch lesbian, and then, the young lesbian who is like so proud and open to be queer, and that was my character. And my character is very type A and wants to throw on a play, but she knows nothing about plays or the theater. And she tries to gather all the other Bettys while two of them are in love with her. And it's a
That's
really
awesome.
fun, snarky play. That was my very first play ever, actually.
Wow. So that was in Topeka.
Yes, it was.
Very cool. And what is this?
This is a banner for Stop Kiss, the third play that I did in Topeka.
There you are right there.
Um, yeah, that one is a love story following two young girls. One moves to New York for a teaching job in, the hard parts of the city. The other girl, she has a hard time getting her life together, and they kind of meet because one's watching the other person's cat, and then this love story happens where, self exploration happens, and yeah, they get together in the end, and it's really cute and romantic. It was a really fun play. The thing about this one, it's really touching because there's an assault that occurs to one of the characters, yeah, which was the character I played. And so it goes through like the motions of if you fall in love with someone who's the same gender, what are your rights, as a partner at a hospital? How do you tell your
Yeah.
family that you are now queer and with a same gendered person? Um, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the plays that I've been in have had queer themes, and that's something that I'm really proud of, and it feels very special and really close to me because I've experienced a lot of the themes in my own personal life.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. So you've kind of chosen to be a part of plays that explore things that you've gone through. Is that based?
Not only that, but I think because of how I was raised and just like the general population that I've been most exposed to up until moving to Kansas City, I feel like I'm kind of the voice or the person that they would listen to outside of maybe mainstream media. Like I am a reason or a person that would draw a new audience to theater, I feel like my mom had never been to a play until I was in one. Same with a lot of my friends that lived in Topeka. So I felt like if I can be a voice for myself and others, I might as well, right?
Well, and I'll tell you the saddest part of that story is people have never been to a play.
I know, I
It's
know.
like, oh my goodness.
Isn't that
Oh,
wild? And like,
it's so funny. I thought everybody had been to plays like they're in high
no.
schools, they're in colleges, they're in like traveling groups and local
I,
groups
I,
and
I
dinner
know it's a
theaters
whole
and
industry.
yeah.
And what's so funny is the very first time I auditioned for a play, I was like in sixth grade. But I suffered from horrible stage fright as a child. And so, I'm in this group trying to learn these lines, and then it's our group's turn to say the lines, and I'm just like, and I like walk off because I couldn't even say a word. And so I think about how my mom may have gone to a place sooner in life had I gone and like actually delivered lines. But that didn't happen. And so it felt really cool to be able to bring her to a new media or form of art.
Well, that's good. Why you said somebody had you write down 5 things you're interested in. You said acting and modeling. Why acting and why modeling? Like, what interests you in those things?
Ever since I was little, I've always just admired people who created art, and I've always wanted to create art. There's something so magical for me in the creative process, especially like particularly like in film, watching different, because it takes a lot of people on a crew. It takes different types of people who have different ideas, who communicate differently, and they all have a common goal. Um, they have all these thoughts in their brain, every single one of these people, but somehow they come together and create something tangible. And oftentimes it's really beautiful. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than watching humans work together from like different backgrounds, different experience levels, ages, etc. I just think it's the best form of like love and I don't know, best form of like creating.
I think what you just said was beautiful as well. You're
Oh,
describing
thank
everything as
you.
beautiful. I think that was beautiful. And it is so true. Like,
Yeah.
I meet someone supposed to play my daughter who's 24. I would never have a conversation with this person otherwise. Like, we
Mhm.
would never interact or even know each other existed. And like people like that, that you meet and you kind of like them. They're nice. Like, I really like this
Yeah.
person. And even though I wouldn't have ever known them.
No,
Um,
exactly. And it's funny because I wanted to be like a pop star growing up. But over time, I started watching more and more movies. And even I remember watching like commercials as a kid. And it sounds so cliche, but cliches are typically real. Um, and I would just think like, oh wow, like there's a camera right here. Like always thinking about the fourth wall as a child. And when I was in high school, before I had my son, I took a theater class, and we had this like 1 minute skit. A classmate and we had to do together. And I took it so seriously. I was like, I'm going to get all my lines down. I'm going to have the right attitude. Like, I'm going to be this character for one whole minute. And after the assignment, our teacher pulled me aside, shout out Mr. Kaufman. He pulled me aside and he was like, hey, like, I feel like there's some potential here. I'm taking some juniors and sophomores to K-State to check out their theater program. Would you want to go? And I was like, absolutely. And I just remember being like, wow, like there's a stage. Like, I don't know, like just the smallest little things about the whole production of a play, just it really enthralled me. And again, having my son so young, I just put all of that on the back burner. And so come to be in my 30s, a quarter life crisis maybe, I was like, I gotta figure out who I really am now. And those were at the top of the list.
Yeah, yeah. A quarter like in your 30s. So you're going to be 30? No. Um, hey, it hits some people at 32. It hits some people at 42. It hits, it's basically, it sounds like you just kind of were looking at what am I doing and what could I enjoy that
Yeah.
I'm not enjoying now?
Yeah. And my thing, I think what I take away most is like, how can I leave a part of myself in the world that's meaningful to me? Um, and creating is just the easiest thing for me. It makes the most sense. And I really, truly love the people that I meet along the way. I've met so many incredible, like
Hmm.
smart, talented, supportive people on this journey. Especially in Casey, people in Casey have welcomed me to the industry so just so warmly, and I'm super grateful for that.
Yeah, that is great. Dorciana, what are you wanting to accomplish?
What am I wanting to accomplish? It's pretty simple. I just want to be my authentic self and be an example for others to not be afraid to lean into themselves. To like, if you have recurring dreams or thoughts about anything, doesn't have to be specific to acting, like there's a reason. And if you lean into who you are and you just do it because you enjoy the process and you have fun and it feels authentic to you, like you really can't go wrong. And I also want to be a voice for people who feel like maybe they're marginalized or they're not heard. They're kind of pushed to the side. I don't like being put in a box, and I want to show people you can be 31 years old and divorced with three kids and decide, I'm going to be an actor now. Like, your life isn't over until it's over. So I think that's what I want to accomplish doing this.
I like it, and I agree with you 100%. I think uh, you can't judge someone by what they look
Mhm.
like, what they sound like, where they're from, what
Yeah.
like, I just and some things people don't even choose. People don't choose gender, people don't choose skin color,
Yeah.
people don't choose where they're born. Like I just don't understand feeling like you've accomplished something because of a gender or because of like you haven't accomplished anything. You just
Yeah.
randomly
You
were,
were just born.
yeah, you were just born and that's it. Like your parents are married or divorced. Like you didn't choose that. It's just that's what happened. And I just, I don't like judging on things out of people's control. And the other is like the older I get, the more live and let live I get, which is opposite of a
Mhm.
lot of people as they age. But I think it's like, it doesn't hurt me. Do whatever you want, like
Yeah,
that. But some
that's how I
people,
feel too. Very much like at the end of the night, like I'm worried about my kids and myself. And so if they're not hurting my kids or myself, like why am I concerned about how other people are living unless they're obviously causing harm to others? But it's
yeah,
like if they're not paying your bills, why do you care?
yeah. Um, what do you like most about acting?
Definitely the people. Definitely the people that I've met. People are just humans are so creative. Like I've been on sets for features that have a large budget, and I've been on short films where, we're using a cell phone and a skateboard as, what's it called? The word's escaping me, but to the motion, what is that?
I know what you're talking about, like to roll the camera
Yeah,
sideways
I
and
can't,
so
I know what
yeah,
it's called, but like if you have a great team and people who are willing to problem solve with you, like people are just so brilliant, and I love celebrating people and their accomplishments. Um, yeah, just the people, and not only that, but you really do see who people are when you're working with a large group of people or just a group of people, and I love feeling the energy of like people receiving others really well.
yeah.
Yeah,
What
and I feel. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, finish your thought. Sorry, I'm ready for my next question. So
Oh,
finish your
no,
thought, though. I
I just feel
apologize.
like I've been received really well in this community. So it feels really good to feel like I've started to build a community here in Kansas City.
Great. What do you like most about writing? I'm sorry.
Writing.
I'm sorry. You do you do other stuff on set? What do you do on set?
Oh, yeah. So I have gotten into some production work over the last couple months. I've been a PA, just, being on set and helping where needed. Um, I also have done wardrobe for a feature that I also acted in. Can't think of words. I also acted in the feature. Wardrobe was actually really, really cool. I love being able to like get people in their clothes and make them feel confident. So far that's it. But I think I want to get into script supervising, maybe explore sound. I'm not really sure. I also like photography. That's one thing I do like about the industry too, is like there's a lot of options to explore. So if you have any kind of creative bone in your body, you can kind of figure out which avenue works best for you.
It's awesome. What about modeling? What do you like about
Modeling.
modeling?
Again, the creativity. The makeup is so much more dramatic in modeling. So it's fun to play with like the big hair and the big gowns and the big eyeshadows, all the things. It's so big. It's big. And parts of me are really big. And I feel like while I can be big sometimes in acting, commercial work kind of have to be a little bit, on the calmer side. So modeling really gives me that avenue to just be like dramatic and dressed up. So it's really fun.
Yeah, they didn't want you to have 80s hair and makeup in the Good Sense commercial.
No, not so much. Just my
Just,
regular schmegular
yeah,
hair.
this nice person slicing things and smiling and giving sandwiches away.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. What have you learned in the last few years with acting in particular? What have you learned?
I've learned that it's not personal. I've learned that you obviously have to work really hard. Yeah, and it just it should be fun. It should be fun. It shouldn't be this cutthroat, super high intensity thing you're doing to get booked. I think it should be, you show up, you do the best you can for that character or that role, and you pass it on to the next person. Because I think I didn't really realize that, everyone in production has a job. And once you submit your submission, it's up to the casting director to do the best job they can to pick the right person for that role. And again, it's not personal because they probably already have a preconceived idea of what this person sounds like or looks like or how they walk or whatever.
Mhm.
And they want you to be that person. But if you're not, they're going to try to find somebody who's closer to it.
Yeah.
And I never really learned that until, 6 months into the industry because, it was slow booking more roles after that first Intrust Bank commercial. Like, oh, well, I'm so good. Like, I showed up on set and I just booked a role. Like, why am I not booking more? Oh, because I didn't match what they were hoping for that role. So once I learned that and I just enjoy the process, I felt like things just became a lot more enjoyable and easier for me.
Yeah, like I think sometimes you can look at roles and like like you'll see something and it says wanting someone 30 to 40. I'm 57. I sent a question basically, would you consider other ages? And I don't hear back. That's excellent because I almost, looking at the character, thought the age, besides that, it fits. I'm going to do an audition, which is going to take me an hour of my life or so to practice and get ready and put things and bring my wife in and all this. I'd
Yep.
rather not do the effort if I don't stand a chance. When
Hmm.
you match what they're looking for,
Yeah.
you increase your odds.
Yep. 100%.
What do you like? Not trying to ask. I truly mean it. Like, do you I had someone on who um, basically is a mix of two races, and she was talking
Mhm.
about she actually looks like a third group, and
Oh,
I went and saw her
racially
stand up.
ambiguous.
Yes, and she said like she got cast as a Polynesian. I don't think she said it on my show, but other place. So as a Polynesian when she's no Polynesian anything. Like
Yeah.
do you have like certain roles that you feel like fit you better?
Yeah, so I typically fall into the African American casting or cast type, but oftentimes I can also fit into like the Mexican um, casting type as well. It really kind of just depends, but typically African American is where I'm going to book the most.
Well, I just remember like seeing people in movies and like, let's say it's a specific group, whatever it is,
Yeah,
Italian, whatever. And you look and there's like five or six characters and three or four, you're like, man. And then the other's like, well, I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Well, and my daughter, she is very racially ambiguous. She has like darker skin tone, but then like straight hair because her father is white. And so oftentimes I think that kind of hinders her ability sometimes to get roles because they're like, well, now who are her parents supposed to be?
Oh
And
yeah, matching
you
up
know,
can be hard. So
yeah,
yeah.
because it's like you have to when they're trying to create a family, they want it to look believable. Uh, but I mean, it works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have to tell you, Lee, you actually are. I mean, you're very attractive and you're younger, but you're not 22. So you
Yeah.
look like young mom, whatever. Like I could just picture you, but you're going to need a father. So I could be your father and
You
you'll,
could be.
yeah,
As long as they cast a black mom,
yeah, that's right.
it would work great.
You can make anything work if you really
It's
want
been
to.
interesting though. Like I've had children as my children who are like Asian and their father's white, and then I'm black. And I'm like, like that could happen in real life though. Families look all different types and ways and things like that. So like I also try not to like judge that either because it's like who are we to say what a family looks like, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I I agree with you 100%. But I have my question that if you watch the show at all, you know I ask everybody, but about four or five people I've forgotten to ask, or when I first started, I didn't ask. All right. Uh, where do you have people besides Kansas City, Topeka? Where do you have people? Anyone farther away?
So I don't know if I would say have people, but I know people
Okay.
in Los Angeles,
Okay.
New
All right.
York, and California, or not
Okay.
California,
They're
Denver.
coming, those California folks are coming
They're
for a
coming
visit.
this way.
And they only can stop and eat at one barbecue restaurant. They don't care if it's in Kansas or Missouri, if it's north of the river, they don't care. Where are you going to take them?
Okay, but I'm still new here, so nobody can judge my answer
Oh, it's okay.
because I
Everybody
haven't
says
gone
something
to all the
different.
barbecue places yet.
Yeah. Okay. Where have you
Okay,
gone to you like best so far?
so far, my two favorite, and one is on the Missouri side and one is on the Kansas side.
Okay.
My
Perfect.
favorite are Slaps Barbecue.
Slabs is awesome. That's one of my favorite.
Slaps is so good.
Yes.
Their mac and cheese, phenomenal.
If you
Like,
say the one on the Missouri side, then I say that I know you're playing a joke on me. Okay.
okay, okay. We'll say it on three.
Okay. No, no, you just say it. Everybody knows I
No,
say
I
it.
want to say it on
Okay.
three.
All right. All right.
Okay, one, two, three. Gates.
LC's. Okay.
Oh,
All
I might
right.
have been
There we go.
there. Might have
Gates.
been there.
Okay. Gates is good. Gates is on both sides too, but it started in the Missouri side.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's one on State Line Road and 435 where they
Uh-huh.
come together. So it's probably like 105th Street and it's on the Kansas side.
Nice. I'll have to check
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah. Are you
Um,
in Kansas or Missouri? You don't have to get
I'm on the
specific.
Kansas side. I'm like
Oh,
10
okay.
minutes from downtown though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this would be a lot closer going to one of the gates closer by than driving all the way down State Line Road. Um, obviously. So yeah, Gates is really good. A lot of people say Gates. I think Gates has the best sauce.
Bates has phenomenal sauce.
Yes.
I ate there back to back like 3 days in a row because I
Yeah.
could not get enough of the sauce.
Yeah, I think LC's has the best meat and
Oh,
slaps too. Slaps and
that's
LC's.
slaps is burnt
Slaps and
in.
L You'll
What do
like
you
LC.
order? What's your order? That's what I want to
Um,
know.
well, I do like pork ribs a lot,
Okay.
and I like burnt ends a
I
lot.
love burnt ends.
But what I liked about LC's was when you walk in, the smoker's directly behind them,
Hmm.
They open up the smoker and it's got all this black, smoky stuff that's settled. Smoke billows up. The ceilings are painted black, and you can look in, you can see this meat that's huge thing. My hands will run out before it shows. You can see my hands the whole way, but nobody else can. But I mean, it really is, I don't know, 8 feet wide and 4 or 5 feet back, and it's just full, maybe 4 feet tall. And
Oh, I need
it's
to check it out.
spectacular.
LC's.
LC's, not the LC's hamburger, but
Okay.
LC's, and the thing that I've told this story before, but I ordered a chicken sandwich. They don't have a chicken sandwich on the menu. So the guy, they sell, I don't know if it's a quarter or half chicken, but they put a piece of white bread and they put barbecue sauce on it, and then they put the whole chicken or half a chicken or whatever it was, half a chicken or a fourth chicken. I think it was half a
Yeah.
chicken. And then they put barbecue sauce on it, and then they put the piece of
Slapped
bread.
it.
And it has a bone on
They're
it.
like this, like
Yeah, and I
real
and then
chicken.
the next time I went in, I said, I ordered a chicken sandwich last time. Do you not have that anymore? And he said, we never have had it. And I said, well, they gave me a piece of bread. He goes, oh, they just gave you that and put it in a sandwich. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So they should name that after you and put it on the menu. Chicken
That's right.
sandwich.
Yeah, that's right. The Kyle chicken sandwich. Yeah, I
The
just thought it was
Kyle
so
chicken
funny.
sandwich.
I
Yeah,
thought it
you
was
know,
funny that,
we should pitch that to
yeah,
them
they
because
didn't
you
argue
already
it.
have free advertising right here.
They just put bread on both pieces, and like I got it and I looked at it, I took the bread off and I'm like digging through to make a little sandwich, and oh well. It was great.
That's so funny.
It was
Yeah, I
absolutely
love some
great.
good barbecue. You know, another thing that I love to eat is wings. I need to know where the best
Oh,
place to get wings is.
I don't know those questions. I do not know those questions.
Kyle, Kyle,
I
Kyle.
don't
A
ever eat
girl needs to
wings.
know where to get wings from.
I'm trying to think of what other people have said whenever I talk about barbecue. Sometimes people say blank has the best wings, but since I don't eat wings, I never listen.
You just tune it out, one
I
ear
mean,
out
I
the
hear it
other.
at the time. You ask me the next day, I can tell you, but 2 weeks later, you know.
Okay, that's for our second podcast
Okay,
episode
okay.
together.
We'll talk about wings. I cannot remember. You'll have to go back and watch the last 10 YouTube episodes because I know at least one or two people mentioned wings.
I can do that to find the best wings.
That's right.
Don't give me a homework assignment. I'll
You
do
might
it.
be able to search like the words because there's transcripts. You might be able to search the word wings
Oh,
and find. I mean, I don't know. It's on
you
YouTube.
know what? Now I feel like I have homework, so I'll let you know
Yes.
after I do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, like somebody's like, oh, you know what? I'm trying to think here. I've almost got it. I cannot remember if it was Q39. I think it was Char Bar. Someone said Char Bar has the
I've
best
been to Char Bar.
Char Bar. That's where it was.
'Cause
Someone said,
that's in Westport, right?
yeah, yeah. It is really
Yeah,
great. It's great. Have you ever been there before?
I think so. Yeah. Like years ago though. So I'm having a hard time picturing it, but I think I got ribs. Do they serve ribs there?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I got ribs there.
It's a barbecue place, and you park, and it's almost like you're parked in a park from a neighborhood almost, it feels
Hmm.
like, if I remember right. And then you walk in and you can walk down to the left or over to the right. Right in front of you, you can't sit. You got to go
Yeah.
right or left. Oh well. Um, that's good though. So I slaps and gates. That's good. And you're not the first person to say either one of those.
Well, now I don't feel very original. So,
No, the one that's been brought up a few times, which actually is probably fairly close to you, that I want to go to because a couple people have brought it up, is Chef Jay's.
Chef Jay, I'm gonna write this down.
Yeah, and I have not been to it, but a couple of people brought up Chef Jay's and were like really strong on, you know, other places they'd been, but that was the best, and that's where they go all the time now, even though it's far away and all. You know, like okay, I mean, they brought it really big. I even posted something on the not on YouTube, but on the little podcast pages.
Hmm.
Thing came out with the seven best barbecue places and recommendations in Kansas City, and one of them was Chef Jay. Uh,
Oh,
um,
okay.
the others, I think,
Now
everyone,
I'm hungry.
yeah, people brought up all of them. Every one of them that was brought up was like Jack Stack or whatever. Every one of them was brought up. So, um, back to real questions. Where can we
That
see
was
your
a real
work?
question.
Yeah, it was. It was. But where can we see your work?
Where can you see my work? Probably on the internet. I'm hoping to get my YouTube channel up and running. I want to start doing more vlogs and posting my um, previously recorded work. Sometimes it's a challenge to get a hold of my commercial work or my film work. Also, one of the first features that I've been in with a oh my gosh, words. Also, a feature that I was in October is called Trivia Night Mysteries. That is supposed to air this month, I
Oh,
believe, on either Hallmark Mystery Channel or a Mystery Channel, and I'm really excited for that to come out. Steve Callaghan, he's a screenwriter and he's known for working on Family Guy. He wrote and produced this this phenomenal trivia mystery night movie. And anyway, I'm really excited to see that. So hopefully you can see that on TV soon as well.
how did you get involved with it? Like, how did you find out about the role? And
Yeah, I actually went to a meeting to become a PA, like just to get some like tactical knowledge on like what it takes to be a PA. Like what should you be wearing on set? What material should you have in your bag, like, et cetera. Um, Come to find out, the individuals who are leading this class, they work in production. They worked on many films in the Missouri area. And they were saying how they had a feature coming up, and if we were interested in PAing on that feature, just to shoot them an email. I am not afraid to follow up on something. And so
yeah,
I followed up and, they're like, okay, yeah, thanks for following up. Reach out again in like a couple days so we can see if we have a spot for you. And I was like, okay. So a couple of days I follow up again and like, yeah, we'd love to have you on. I think they were just, they wanted to vet people to see how serious they were and, being PAs. They found out actually act as well. And so they asked if I wanted to audition for a role. Like you can, if you book it, you can be in the film and then you can also PA. And so it was really interesting to get to do both sides because I got really
awesome.
close with the actors, doing wardrobe with them and then also acting with them. So that was really fun.
That is wonderful. And what is it called again?
It's called Trivia Night Mysteries.
Trivia Night Mysteries.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna watch for it.
Me
Shoot a
too. And
message. I'm
once
gonna
I
try to
know where
watch
it is,
it.
I'll be posting all about it.
Okay, I'll know that when it's coming out. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. What do you think makes somebody good at something?
So what makes people good at something? Um, their ability to show up every day, their willingness to learn and practice. I think that's what I tell my kids anyway, is like sometimes I'll hear my kids or people say things like, I wish I could da 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 da. And I'm like, well, practice. Or wow, someone is so good at yada yada yada. They probably practiced.
Yeah.
Even if they're naturally good at it, they're still putting in the hours and the work. And I think also people's ability to say, actually, I don't know what I'm doing here. And if they know someone who knows how to do that thing, they ask for help or to have, a mentor to help them learn better. Being open-minded. Being open-minded, showing up and asking for help, I guess, is what I would say my answer is to that.
That's a great answer. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. You get better at things by doing them. You get better at
Yeah.
things by practicing them. I read a book called Talent is Overrated. And
Mm,
they compared the number of hours, the first chair versus the last chair, musical instrument, whoever played the most was the one who was first chair. And they talked about someone's just a little bit stronger at throwing a ball in baseball. So then they put them in a pitcher's camp and then they play
yeah.
in a summer's league and then or a winter's league and then they come back in the summer and they're a little better than all the other kids because they've had 3 months and 3 months of practice where the other
Yeah.
kids haven't had any practice really significantly in the last 9 months. And so, yeah, and they talk about the mastery of instruments and the instruments that's bigger, that you have to be a little bigger to play. They
Hmm.
don't master those for about 2 years after their peers have mastered the instrument at the same level because they're not big enough to do it until they're 2 years old. It's just interesting.
Right. Yeah, that is interesting. What's
Yeah.
the name of that book?
Talent is overrated.
Talent is open. I'm gonna look that
Yeah,
up.
it's a great book as far as I mean, they go through all of it with someone trains their daughters to be chess players because people don't think women are good at chess. And
Hmm.
he's like a guy who like, Tiger Woods' dad was like
Yeah.
an expert, and was it Beethoven's father was a music teacher and wrote books on music. So like everybody, like they have somebody in their life who coaches them at an early age and pushes them and they get to practice. But
Hmm.
and I'm spoiling the book. I think I'm giving several examples, but
It's
um,
okay.
the the chess one I found really fascinating because his daughters were ranked one, two, three, and they're like
Oh
little
my
teenage girls and
God.
they're beating all these people because he's giving them homework to study chess moves.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's putting in the hours. It's putting in the hours when you're not getting paid. It's putting in the hours when you're not being watched. It's you got to put in the that work to get more work. And you know teaching that to my children has been fun, but um I've always been very studious. I've always loved studying and learning new things. I played sports growing up my entire life, and so over time I think I just have instilled that work ethic in myself, where I know I have like confirmation bias. I just know if I'm going to work hard at something, eventually I will get it.
oh yeah,
It might look a little awkward or funny at first, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I'll become and the easier it comes to me. So I think that's what makes me good at a lot of things.
yeah. You've done theater and you've done film.
Yes.
I ask everybody who's done theater and film the same question. Which do you prefer and why?
I can't. Why would you ask me that
Ask
question?
everybody that question. It's hard.
It is hard.
Or what do you like about each if it's tough
Okay, yeah,
to
that's a better
differentiate?
question because
Okay,
I love
okay.
them both a lot for different reasons. With theater, I really, really love that live audience. Um, I just feel so alive right before I step on a stage in theater. I feel it all in my body. And um I love hearing like the immediate reaction when something dramatic happens or something sad happens on stage, or you have an interactive audience and like they're in the story with you and you can tell. I don't like the rehearsal schedule because I still have two young girls and it's hard to be away from them, every night for rehearsal. But I love theater. Then for film, I don't know. I love this again, what I was saying earlier, watching all these pieces come together, where it's like with theater, you have weeks, maybe even 2 months to try to like practice everything. You have your marks, you have, all the things on stage for you, your props, everything is we've rehearsed. With film, yeah, you probably know your lines, but like you don't really know how that's going to play out on film or on screen. So what you think is going to happen, they might change it. And there's so much more like problem solving, and it's more of a puzzle, I feel like, when you're doing film. And I really like that part. Um, Also, I love watching other actors act. I get so inspired watching other people like pour into their characters, and I'm always like taking mental notes.
Awesome. How do you learn lines? Theater, you have a lot of time to learn your lines.
Yeah.
Film, you're pretty much on your own. How do you do it?
I like to use my Line Learner app. I'm like a very auditorial learner. I love music. And I can learn songs very quickly. So I kind of applied that to learning my lines where I have an app and I put the script in and then I record my lines with my voice. And so then I will play it back over and over again. And then I'll be able to hear the rhythm of how a scene is supposed to go.
Okay. So you have
Yeah.
your lines recorded, and then
Hmm.
when the pause, you say, or the other people's lines recorded, you pause, you say your lines.
Yep.
Yep, that's good. I guess in front of the camera, behind the camera.
I think it depends on what kind of capacity I'm at. Um, I'm oftentimes like super full of energy, and I think those would be the days where I want to be in front of the camera. But the days where I'm like lower energy, I'd rather be behind the camera.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? That's a good question.
I'm pretty much in front of the camera only
You're
other
always in front of
than,
the camera.
yeah, unless there's like little bitty things. Like
Yeah.
I've helped out on like I would say three or four things. I'm more of a low key caster
Mm.
where I suggest people when they're casting, like I suggest somebody who I know I think would be good at it or who would fit their description. And sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't, but I've done that a lot over the
Yeah,
years.
that's
This
kind of
year,
nice.
yeah, this year because of my shoulder surgery,
Hmm.
I just I think I've done too much in
Mm.
um too much time preparing, doing stuff, whatever, like, and I'm kind of trying to pull back, um, not do as much this year.
Hmm.
Um, I was an extra in somebody's thing. I really don't like being an extra, but I know the guy and I like him. He's on the show.
Yeah.
He's one of my first guests, one of my first year for guests. So he asked me, so I said yes, and I drug my buddy Marcus with me. So he came with me. But yeah, I'm pretty much in front of the camera. I don't mind being behind the camera, but I really like being in front better.
Yeah. What happened? Can I ask you what happened to your shoulder?
I when I was a young man, someone said the wider you bench, the more it works your chest. So I benched like this
Oh, wow.
for all my life, and I mean I could do 350 pounds for more than a decade, and then all of a sudden my shoulders started hurting. I could do pull-ups with like, what would it be, 145 pounds. I could do a set of four pull-ups with that. Uh,
Mhm.
but like all those things, which other people can do way more than that. It's not that impressive, but like, um, but like whenever I would go down all the way. I always thought like people were cheating when they would go down like this and keep locked.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what I was doing, and I basically hurt myself doing that. So I have arthritis really bad in both shoulders, especially the left. At one point, I'd broken my left shoulder, they said, at one of the doctors I went to. And so I had a broken bone that healed. It was probably when I was 19.
Hmm.
I remember an incident and I never went to the doctor. So basically, I had all this buildup. And so they cut off the bone and they shaved the top and they put a plastic cap in, and it's chrome or what is it? Cobalt chromium
So
right here.
basically you're bionic now.
I'm like a superhero.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's what I'm
superhero
thinking.
at this point. Here, I will show. You can see that. I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
it.
barely.
So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Dang. Well, I
Yeah.
only have regular bones inside of me, so
Yeah, well, you're not a meta human.
no,
It's
not yet
one of the
anyway.
universe calls them meta humans. I don't remember which one. Instead of superheroes. Well, let me see. Is there anything that motivates you? Like, what is it that motivates you to keep doing it? I mean, I know you were drawn to it, but what motivates you?
I don't know. I just have so much fun in the process, honestly. It's it's not so much that I'm doing it, it's just that I'm just creating. Like it's honestly acting more than modeling. It's just something that I think about all the time. And so any chance I can use my phone to make like a TikTok or an Instagram, I will do it. Um, Anytime I can tell a story somehow, I just want to do it. So again, I think a lot of it for me is just enjoying the process. Uh, and maybe some of it is like I feel like I lost a lot of time, having stage fright and then having my son really young. And I just, because I enjoy it so much, I just don't want to stop.
Yeah, that makes
Maybe.
sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
you chose specific roles when you started out. Like you could have been in, you know, whatever, Little Orphan Annie, Aladdin, whatever, anything. But you chose the type of films that dealt with like sexuality, lesbian, like that
Oh, theater,
types.
theater. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
theater, you chose like a very specific niche. Um, how do you put emotions into those situations?
Well, a lot of it. is based on, real life experiences, but also I have a lot of friends in the queer community. I think acting is mostly just practicing empathy. So if, you read a story or a script and it reminds you of someone you know, and I know a lot of different types of people. I think it's easy to tap into how I felt, hearing some of the things that my friends have been through, or knowing how certain people would treat my friends or people I find, I adore and I love. Um, so for me, it's again giving voices to people who are marginalized and, you know, treated like crap because of just who they are existing. And it's like it makes no sense to me. Um, and it's hard to get on stage and tell your own story.
Yeah.
Um, so part of it is probably, therapy for me, while also giving a voice to people who maybe aren't able to tell their own story.
I think that's a wonderful answer.
Oh, thank you.
But I'm going to throw a wrench, though. I do think it's a wonderful answer. What about, have you ever played the parts where you're the bad person or you're the person who's antagonizing and making fun of people that, like, you in real life you would embrace?
Yeah, in Collective Rage, my character, she's not necessarily like a bad person, but she projects a lot of her own internal issues on other people. And, believe it or not, like I was that girl growing up. I was very insecure in high school. And I would project onto other people. Like I'm not going to tell the story right here, not right now, but like made somebody cry in class one time and we had to go to the counselor's office and I got pulled aside, like a whole thing had happened. And then, after being talked to, I was like, oh, like I didn't realize my actions and my words really do affect people that deeply. And honestly, that was the day that I was like, I will never purposefully be mean to people. And so yeah, I have been characters where maybe they are be at least projecting their own insecurities on other people, and so I can also sympathize and empathize with that character because I again have also lived that way. I do want to play a murderer at some point.
Yes.
I don't know if I can fully empathize with a murderer because I have not done that, but I think that would be an interesting and challenging role for me because I think that would require me to dig a little deeper, more into the person I used to be. If that makes any sense?
I like it. So, yeah, so you thought that that would be like a really challenging, fun
Yeah.
role just to learn. It actually might be like a little bit painful.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think that's really interesting. So
Mhm.
would that be like if you could choose any role, you would say, I want to be a murderer in a,
Yeah, I've always kind of avoided that question because I don't want to be put in a box, but I've thought about it, and if I had to choose one role, I want to be the next Scream masked killer hacking people up.
okay, that's all we got time for today. You've been a great guest. Thank you for coming. No.
No, like I don't mean to be graphic, but yeah, I think I would want to try to be a murderer of some kind.
Yeah.
I also really do want to play like a lead in like a rom-com. My demographic isn't typically cast in rom-coms, and I think it would be fun to explore that as well because I'm not a super lovey-dovey romantic person. Like those, I do have parts of those pieces of me, but it's not like my day-to-day life. So it would be interesting to play that role too.
Is there any role that you wouldn't play?
Um, I don't think I could think of a role right now, but I know a role that would be challenging is one where it would like maybe deal with me harming like children, me harming other women in like a sexually traumatizing way. Like that would probably be difficult for me. I know that's very niche and like not something that's always explored. Um, so those would probably be difficult, but knowing that it's a film or TV product, it would be a little bit better. It would just take more like training, I think, to be able to compartmentalize that.
Yeah, my last question, before kind of a summary question, so we're kind of nearing the end here for real.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part about acting?
The hardest part about acting, I would say, oh, that's a good question. The hardest part about acting, man, I don't really have a lot of hard things about it. Probably like overnights. Those are hard.
Okay, like working overnights. That's good.
No, because I really enjoy it. I think too, to give like context, like acting isn't my only job. And so I don't feel like this immense pressure to make like a living off of it.
Yeah.
And again, because I do it for the process, it's really enjoyable. But overnights are hard. Also, probably not knowing when you're going to get a casting call. Like there's times too where I get a casting call at 7 p.m. and it's due 12 p.m. the next day, where it's like, I'm 30 minutes from my house. I have
Yeah.
nothing set up. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be reading right now. And I'm going to try to submit this and hope I do a good job. Probably that for me.
Yeah, that makes
What would
sense.
what would you say the hardest thing about acting
No, no,
is?
no. Whoa, whoa, this is on you. This is on you.
I'm just curious.
Um, I don't know. I think time is the
Yeah,
hardest part for me. Time to prepare, time to show up and do it. But I actually love it. I mean, I'm not doing it for the money either. But so I don't feel that pressure to make money
yeah,
off of it. But I don't know why I really, really love acting. I
yeah,
just truly enjoy it. You meet so many wonderful people. You get to, I've heard other people say this and it sounds corny, but you get to pretend and it's kind of fun to pretend.
yeah,
How
yeah.
many people when you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, how many people get to play dress up and pretend? I mean, I know it's silly, but it's
Yeah,
kind of
and
fun.
just
I'm a
explore what works
cowboy,
and what
you know?
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
I'm
and no,
gonna,
you're so right. And there's times where I've been on set where people are like, "You want to go play?" And I'm like, "You want to be friends?" And you just feel like kids all over again because you're just playing to create something.
it's fun. I enjoy it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
enjoy it a lot. But the time is the thing that that's what I'm doing this year. I'm trying to do a little bit less. I've been cast in two things plus a narrator role.
Hmm.
And I haven't really tried for anything this year, actually. I have not auditioned this year.
Oh wow.
So it's either been things people have just called me because I've worked for them in the past or done projects, or I auditioned for it a year ago
Yeah.
or 6 months ago, whatever, things like that. So, what would be your summary, like your words of wisdom at the end
My
of the
words of
day? Your words
wisdom.
of wisdom.
Words of wisdom by Dorcianna. Those would be to lean into yourself, like trust who you are and go for it. And be kind. Be kind. That'd be the last thing I would say.
Very good. Anything else to say? Anything you thought I was going to ask you about, but I didn't, and you're thinking I was ready for this question.
No, I feel like we touched base on everything you mentally prepared me for. But I do want to say thank you and shout out to Kansas City. It was very scary for me to move from Topeka to KC, not really knowing anyone. And I have truly enjoyed being on set with so many great, smart, talented people. And I appreciate and I'm very grateful for, again, the warm welcome and a lot of people taking me under their wings.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the
Yeah.
show. I really enjoyed talking to you. You're a wonderful lady. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate you having me. I hope you have a good night.